Hey Blue Table fans, today we're going to take a look at a Sinoceratops. This is a model that is 3D printed. I am giving a lesson to a client on how to paint it, and the cost for the lesson was the model itself. So if anybody wants a similar thing where you're going to send me some cool figure that we both mutually agree upon, and I'll paint it, and of course make notes on it and tell you how I would go about it. And then of course you can do it yourself on your own duplicate of the figure that you have on your end, or of course you could just have the lesson itself. Or you could go on to bluetablestore.com and go to the luxury and unusual items section and purchase a video between 10 minutes and an hour. I have various options, and excuse me, you could just say, hey, how would you paint this? Help me come up with a color scheme for my Tau army or whatever it is. And that's how useful this can be. Okay, so this figure right now, it has the what I call the basic 4 on it, and you'll notice it looks a little like a sepia photograph, and it looks really nice. It's got some really amazing earth tones in here, and this is a base color to put other colors on top of it, and they're going to look really, really, really good. So the basic 4 is a black prime, a very heavy dry brush of Hull Red by Vallejo. That's what this looks like, and it's like a brick red. And if you don't have that, you can use dark flesh tone, and I don't have one of those right sitting in front of me. All right, anyway, and then you do a ghost brush or a very, very light dry brush of pale sand on top of it. There we go, pale sand. And then you make a mix of black and game color royal purple. So game color royal purple, and I like Army Painter black because this is kind of thinned down already, and it's thin, but it's not thinned down with water, it's thinned down with a medium, so it's really nice. Now just be careful not to get confused with, what is it? It's model, not model color. Yeah, game color royal purple versus model color. This is purple, model color purple, but model color royal purple kind of is a lighter purple. So just be aware of that. Okay, I know that didn't make much sense, but anyway, that black and water, you're going to put a wash on the underneath areas, and it creates, and you didn't know that, this just sort of looks brown, right? But it creates this purple undertone, and it's real nice. It's very pleasing to the eye, and it accentuates other colors very, very well. All right, so first off, let's talk about fields. Fields means areas of the model, and you have to include the base in this. And so the fields of this model are the actual creature, and then the baggage on it, and and then the base. Those are the basic fields, but the figure itself it has these chitinous scutes or plates on its back, and it also picks up right here, so they go all the way to the front. You've got the horns, you've got this big horn in front, you have the main fleshy areas of the body, and then you have this under area here. And by the way, the purple really shows up on that. Let me just get in closer. Do you see it? I mean, and just look at how wonderful that looks already just by doing these basic foundation layers right. So and then, of course, another field, since I'm breaking it down even further, is the toenails here. Now, it's tempting to just want to do them like a really light color. You want to do them ivory for whatever reason people think, oh, bone is an ivory color. And it's not necessarily. There's a lot of different things that you could do with that. And if you go do a little research on like cow horns or bull horns, I guess, cows, do cows have horns? Little ones, maybe. Anyway, you'll find out that there's lots of different colors you can use. And also, of course, the ropes here. Now, if you do this basic layer correctly, you could just leave these ropes undone and they look fine just the way they are. It depends. If you're doing a level 3 model and you're trying to leverage good technique to make it look good, then yeah, you're just going to skip those, and it's got ropes on the bottom. And of course, you didn't technically skip them because you did do something to them. You did something with 4 different layers to them. You just did it efficiently by doing it all at once. Now in the baggage, you've got barrels, sacks, these wood things here. These are actually very prominent. These bundles of sticks or whatever. I imagine they're being used for like a fortification or something like that. So anyway, so what am I going to do here? You've got, for these different fields, you got to consider contrast. The main one is light versus dark. So do I want this thing to be very light, the creature to be light, and the things to be dark? Yes, I do. Bright versus dull. I'm going to have the creature be relatively bright, and I'm going to have the baggage be relatively dull with earth tones and stuff like that. And so the other thing with the creature is I could put like artificial like dags or mottling things here and create like a really vibrant thing on the back, like along the spine. But frankly, I don't know, these ridges here, they're really attractive, and I really want to play with that a little bit. So what am I going to do? I am going to make my creature, boy, I could make him brownish, I can make him reddish, I could make him greenish. Oh God, it's a tough call, guys. You know what? I think the creature, I'm going to go with khaki. It's going to be sort of this slightly greenish brown color, and I'm going to make that the major color here. And then I'm going to come in with something maybe even brighter. I'm going to do orange. Oh boy, this is dangerous. I don't know. I may start playing with it and then decide something else. My original idea was that I was going to use an olive green. That's goblin green, but that is close to olive green. Do I have olive green in my... Yeah, I do. Here, olive green in my palette. How close was I? Kind of. Yeah, olive green. I could make him majority olive green. And then do a... ochre yellow, and then this orange color here along the back. That actually could be very attractive. And I could do like a sandy, lighter color on the underbelly here, which you really don't see very much of it. I'm definitely going to do these, whatever they are, the toenails, I'm going to do them like a black color. And then up here, I'm just going to do my earth tones. I'm going to leave these relatively brown here, or maybe not, huh? What am I going to do? How about saddle brown for these posts there. And then the sacks and stuff, it really doesn't matter that much. But I am going to put some bright colors. There's some chests in here. I'm going to make that. I'm going to introduce, to counterpoint this stuff here, this very earth tony yellow and orange. I'm going to bring in some turquoise and splash it in there. Turquoise, and you know what turquoise loves? I don't have it here, but it's gold. I'm going to put little splashes of gold here, and if I can find metallic areas, I'm going to make these like brass or copper, this bands on this, whatever it is, a barrel there. In fact, let's flip this guy around and see if there's anything interesting on the other side. Oh yeah, there definitely is. Yeah, there's some barrels here. This is a chance to put some really bright earth tones in there. Maybe grab some stone gray, which is really a neutral color. Isn't that palette looking lovely? That's really amazing. I really love it. Guys, I think I'm on the right track. I think I got it. I'm going to do the horns very dark. Sometimes that can be like your really good counterpoint there, is to do like a really black color to make them stand out. But it depends. When you look at this, if the creature's in the background, then the black will actually work because it'll play off of a background of very bright colors. So I can't do the horns too much. What I could do is I could actually make it where like the people that own this creature have painted on bands of bright color on the horns, and that'll give it like a nice splash of color and also a little bit of narrative as well. And there's some jugs in here. Let's go. There's some jugs, a pair of jugs, guys, in here, and I could put some bright colors on that. And that'd be a chance for me to maybe grab some, let's get this backed up a little bit. I only have a few more minutes on my charge here, guys. Bring in like a foul green, which is like a park green. So these two colors, those are a couple of my faves there. And you know, maybe some other things. Here's a scurvy green, which is teal. And those are going to go great off of, you know, this creature being very much these other colors. And in fact, the problem is if I'm introducing these sort of greenish, bluish colors, making the dinosaur majority olive green, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to make the dinosaur, somehow I got to make the dinosaur very like a reddish, but also give him a little bit of color too. Because it's looking like my baggage is what's going to be bright. So what I might do is I might get rid of this. Excuse me, might get rid of the olive green, and I might just do a dark flesh tone, which is like a brick red on there, and then just highlight this up by adding a color in. Now if I mix in a color, if I mix in white, then that's going to actually be like pink, so that's no good. So I'm going to have to mix in like something like a yellow ochre. No, I want like brown sand in there. Here's a heavy skin tone. That's basically like a brown sand color. And, you know, mix this in and like get a few layers of that dark flesh tone worked up. Yeah, and with this along the back of him, that dinosaur, and with the horns being black, that's going to really work. It's going to make our dinosaur look very ruddy, and it's really going to work. So now in terms of the base, because the base, and by the way, I'm running out of juice on my camera, so I might just cut out for no apparent reason. Wow, I really got to put all these paints back now. Great. All right, so the base is like a frame of a picture, and sometimes people want to make the base very busy, and I say don't do it. Make it busy, but with other colors. And as you can see, with just the colors I put on him, you can see a little bit of life starting to come out on that base there, because that's how I do it. And the more you get going on your base, washes, highlights, dry brushes, just all those techniques, scumbling in there, it's going to make that base look really realistic, and we're going to have some foliage. Now, as you may notice, I've got my palm tree terrain that I made, which looks awesome, by the way. So that is going to play. So I'm going to basically be putting a lot of dark greens. The base is effectively going to look like this. That's what it's going to look like. It's going to be very muted earth tones and greens. And he's going to look like he's walking in your footsteps by the police. Hey, Mr. Brontosaurus, don't you have a lesson for us? And this guy's going to look really, really, really cool. Guy's going to look so amazing. He's going to be great for Ultimate D&D, great to put on display at my wargaming speakeasy. And people are going to come from far and wide to look at my amazing figures, and they're going to recognize them from the videos, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and people's lives are going to be absolutely better because of the joy of painting miniatures. Oh my gosh, this is so... Now I'm excited to paint this figure. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And the battery pack just went down.